I shouldn't have been, but I was really surprised by the amount of hockey equipment there were like 3, 4, 5 rows of just equipment. There's an entire row of skates. There's an entire row of pads. There's an entire row of sticks.
I know.
Not something that you would ever really see in the States. Not to that like level. Like, yep, this is a Canadian store.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast where today Jason and I are talking American visits a Canadian Tire store in Canada. We talked about this a while ago while driving back from Sudbury, if you watched that video. And anyways, so some things might be slightly out of date, but the core of it is that you and I went to Canadian Tire. And anything that they're in for what we talked about then, which I don't remember what we said.
No, and you know what? It's probably timeless because Canadian Tire is not going to change. It's more just if we talk specifically about like what we did, which we shouldn't have done to begin with because we can't assume that everyone's watched it. So
that's true. There's links below for the main video of that, and here it comes, our Canadian Tire talk after that Canadian Tire video came out. Us talking about how it went.
Let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. Everybody.
Hello and welcome to the American podcast from the car.
Number 2,
episode 2.
Yes.
We are driving back home, away from Sudbury, Ontario. We just finished that trip, but that's not what this podcast is about.
Which one is this about?
This is going to be, we're talking Canadian Tire. American visits Canadian Tire.
We should still do Sudbury while we have a chance too. Then.
Yeah, we'll do that after this one.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go in order, you see.
So I got to remember the Canadian Tire trip then.
Yeah, you got to remember. I can call it up on my phone.
That's good.
If I had my phone. Anyways, first of all, Sudbury was that was one Saturday night. Sudbury Saturday night is, I guess, what we just had. And a day, really. Anyways, but that's for another episode. That's the next episode that's going to come out. Actually, that's not true. I think Harvey's.
Oh.
You tried Harvey's.
And you got a lot in front of you here.
We got a lot of content.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyways, we're sipping on some McDonald's coffee, and we got some Egg McMuffins in the bag down here. I was just saying,
driving 117 kilometers per hour, which I know you think is slow.
It's a bit slow. I mean, it's fine.
But the maximum it's telling me is 100.
Yeah, but that's just
it's just a suggestion.
You get 120. Anyways, at this point, the episode Canadian Tire was released a few days ago, and it's at I just checked this morning. It was at 45,000 views.
Really?
Like, how cool is that? That's our top performing video in a long time, and it's all because people wanted to see wanted to see you, Jason, the American explore Canadian Tire.
Either because they've heard of Canadian Tire and they wanted to learn more, or they've been to Canadian Tire and they wanted to see what other people thought about it.
That's right. So you need an outside perspective. You need the outside perspective about anything in life, I think, just to give you that side of it, to give you better, to make a better decision about what you want and what your thoughts about one thing. Wow, that's cool.
It's beautiful.
I wish I could get a shot of that. If you're listening to the podcast, you're there's some beautiful fog kind of hovering.
Describe it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. There's some beautiful fog hovering over a sea of evergreen trees. Are they evergreen? They're not evergreen. They may be, but it's
partially
beautiful.
Evergreen.
And there's some exploded rock that's a road runs through. It's quite nice.
It's breathtaking.
Yes, it is. This is wonderful. Anyways, Canadian Tire. What was your, first of all, how did you feel the video came out? And
do you want my honest opinion?
Yes.
I thought it was okay.
All right, go on.
In the moment, you especially when you just go in with the camera, you don't really necessarily think like, oh, we have all this free time to go shoot everything we want to make it the best it can be.
Right.
And so everything was very run and gun and just in the moment.
That's true.
Which is fine. That's kind of like the organic nature of like, and the reality of seeing something for the first time. But we don't have a crew with us. So as you're walking, the camera's kind of moving around a lot, and so that was one of the bigger gripes I think people had.
Yeah,
was just the
you were the
shakiness
first
of
one
the
to say
footage.
it. That stuff, like, it doesn't. I don't see it as it doesn't bother me, like the crazy shaky cameras. It doesn't bother me physically.
I wonder if that's like
I think because I know
in relation to the same way that you don't get car sick like I do.
Maybe it is. I think you're right. Because I sent you the episode and you're like, if there's a way to go back and get some B-roll, get some extra shots.
Which this is on Sunday when you're about to post on Monday
the next
morning.
day. Yeah, but then I did. I got some more. It helped a little, but obviously not enough because there was lots of comments about, oh, it's shaky, I can't watch it.
Put the stabilization on your camera.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry. So that was it. It was our first time in a store together in years, like doing that type of video.
Yeah.
And so it was also like, we just went in without telling anybody. I didn't want to be
guerrilla style.
Yeah, guerrilla style. I didn't want to I was trying to be discreet. So I wasn't thinking about like the best shots. I was just trying to get any shot.
And to be fair, that was also in the same day as 100 other things that you were planning to do.
Yeah.
Including the reunion with you and then all the different food places that we went to.
That's right.
So it wasn't like we had time to even get it right.
That's it.
And go back and shoot all the necessary stuff.
Now that you've seen the response to it.
Yeah. I'm always surprised by the number because I'm like, this is a good one or this one's not going to do as well. But then for some reason, it just takes off. And so, and maybe you're right. Maybe it is like, because I think you mentioned before that, it is a larger topic and Canadian Tire is more of is it a national chain?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
most of the time, I think most of Canada has it. Sorry, I'm chewing an Egg McMuffin. Do you want yours?
No, not right now.
Okay.
No one wants to hear me chew.
Huh.
So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised and have been, but I'm always thrown because the ones that I want to be, not that I want, because I want them all to be popular and good and people to see them, but they always seem to be different than the ones that actually hit. Like think for example, like the first viral video we ever did.
Which
not
one?
something that we ever anticipated.
Oh, the weather?
Yeah.
Oh, like we
snowstorm.
did the Buffalo snowstorm. We did a Buffalo snowstorm time lapse from like the 30th floor up in Buffalo of the snow coming in over the lake. That was before we were doing these American Canadian videos.
Yeah.
And
well before, and it was just this wall of snow, and it was the morning I walked in, and you were there too, because you could actually see the snow dumping.
Dumping. Oh my God.
On the south towns. So I'm like, this looks really cool. What would it look like as a time lapse? But not thinking any like, oh, we're gonna share it or show it to anyone.
I had the brilliant idea.
Yeah, it was your idea.
Like, oh, maybe we should show people this.
Yeah, let's go post this and see what happens. And then, I don't know, that same day, like it just took, like the news wanted it.
Yeah, the news were all over it. It showed on every major news channel in Canada and U.S.
Buffalo gets snow. That's not a secret, but it doesn't get snow like it got snow that day. So I think that was like a big news story. Like,
because
foot of snow every like
the weather
few minutes.
event. We captured the weather event in like real time.
Yeah.
That nobody's used to seeing that. Like, was this lake effect snow happening?
And it was a produced element too. It was a time lapse, which you wouldn't necessarily get on like a news broadcast. It would just get the footage of it.
Yeah, that was great.
And it wasn't even just local. It took off global.
I have videos of it on CNN, NBC.
That's right. I remember one morning the BBC called me.
Oh my God! How did they find you?
I don't know. I don't know where they even got my number, but they're like, "Hey, are you? Can we use your footage for our broadcast?" That was wild. So that was our first viral hit. So again, I just didn't expect. You don't expect those things to go, and we make videos our whole lives hoping that they'll do that.
Yeah.
And that was not one of the ones that I was expecting to do that. So same with any of these. It's just like you want them all to do good. You just your anticipation level is a lot lower or higher based on what you think the production value is.
I agree. Especially like I think the videos that actually we work a lot harder. There's a lot more production into them.
Sometimes those don't get any.
Right. Those are the least watched.
Viewed.
Right. Like, I mean, but I think it doesn't matter because at that point you're doing it because you just love it, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. I mean, I would love people to see it and watch it, but like the reunion one, it's almost at 20,000 views, which is pretty good, and it's not a mass appeal. It's like only people who would know us would really like.
Want to click on it and see like, I see them meeting up again.
Right. But that there was a lot of stuff that went into that, a lot of planning, a lot of crazy things.
Right.
Right.
and multiple cameras
Right.
for different portions of the shoot and, the race against you.
Just,
and
so like just to tell you, like, so that's been out for a month at least.
it's
just under
half the amount of
20,000 views. The other one's been out for 5 days at 45,000. I knew the Canadian Tire one had good potential because, and it's definitely one of the episodes where when I'm editing and it's not hard. Like I'm not really thinking how hard is this storyline going to be, like, you know, whereas like the reunion cut, there's a lot of stuff that was story.
Right. The Canadian Tire one was more of a montage of
just you
travel from beginning to end through the story.
Yeah, just
and it really honestly is no like hook other than where's the tire.
Mm-hmm. And actually that came a lot earlier than it in real life than it did in the video. I cut it out and put it at the end to make people wait.
Because that was
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? A very loose, dramatic thing.
The best comment that I saw on that one was, I don't know exactly what they said, but it was along the lines of, well, that's why they call it Canadian Tire, not Canadian Tires.
Yeah, because there's one tire.
One tire.
I did see that comment. That's great. We got a lot of us. There's so many, because like over 500 comments on there. Like, I love that. And I do read them all, which is, probably shouldn't just because it's a lot of time to, but I just enjoy it. I just really enjoy reading everyone's comments and like responding to something, and like
the majority are really positive comments,
really positive, too, really fun,
which is exciting.
And also some of them give you like better ideas for the future.
Yeah.
And also
you guys should do this, or go here and see this thing.
And also things that we should talk about now in this podcast because of the things we may have missed. Right? Like that's a lot of the comments, like, oh, why didn't we should have shown him this, you should have shown him that. Like there's a lot of that in anything we've ever done. There's always like, why didn't you do this? Why you not?
Why would you not take him? Why would you not give him the Canadian Tire dollars?
Right. Oh yeah, that was the biggest comment.
Yeah.
That was the biggest one, because everyone wants to see you reacting to Canadian Tire money. But if you don't know, Canadian Tire money is discontinued. It doesn't exist anymore. It only exists as I believe points on a card.
Okay.
Triangle card. I forget what the name is, but like that's how you accumulate the Canadian Tire
like a scan
money.
card that you go to.
Yeah, like
check out.
like a points card to any place you would shop. But it used to be Canadian Tire money. And you've seen it before, because I did, and I keep commenting to people, like I actually showed him this
on the Montreal trip.
When we went to Montreal in the car, I showed you this Canadian Tire money.
Yeah.
Which was a perfect setup to when we actually had to go to Canadian Tire on that trip, when we almost broke my car.
Well, you did break your car.
I did break my car. If you're watching on YouTube, we have it on. This is a podcast, audio podcast. Anywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. I think all the rest. And if you're not watching on YouTube, we have a separate YouTube channel that this is on, called American versus Canadian Pod. That's the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's the channel?
That's the channel.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know.
Yeah. Oh.
Am I not subscribed? I don't think I'm subscribed.
You don't even subscribe to that channel? All right.
Because I do the audio podcast, like Spotify or something like that.
There is something nice about listening to a podcast too. Like, but it's. I think it goes both ways. It depends. I think they're both good things to do. Like watch and listen, and let's just listen. There's a different dynamic that you get listening.
Yeah.
Instead of just it's kind of fun.
It helps your imagination.
Yeah.
Soar a little.
You're
bit
right.
more.
You're right. I should describe something. Look at this.
We're in a construction area right now, but
Yeah.
they've done a really good job of paving because we're supposed to be on the right side of the highway, but we've moved to the left, and it's a 1-lane road at this point.
That's right.
And but the road is in great shape. They paved this road that we're on. Well, that's more interesting over there. We
That
just
was a nice
passed
shot.
beautiful inlet.
So
lake.
this is the benefits
Perry
of
Sound area.
watching the podcast, watching it on YouTube, is that I got a shot of what he's talking about on my phone, and we'll cut to that already. Yeah. You can see the setup here. We got our main camera there, and in front of us on the dash, it's just beautiful. I mean, you couldn't be driving slower, but that's totally.
It is 90 kilometers per hour because we're in a construction zone.
Yeah, but the construction is done.
Yeah, you don't know that though. They could show up at any time down the road.
All right.
I'm not getting a speeding ticket in Canada. That's going to be a nightmare.
What are you getting? It'll cost you $3. Anyway, back to Canadian Tire. I have knowing that it was probably going to be something that could be really good. It's because the title of the video was going to sell itself. Like, I think that's how I gauge, like, the ease of selling the show. Each episode is how relatable and how easy is the title to, like, understand.
Is it clickable?
Yeah.
Within 2 seconds that you look at the video title.
Yeah. If when you read the title and
Is
then
it-
in combination with something else, you get it and are interested, or is it like, I'm not sure what this is?
Is it enticing enough?
Right. So, like, American Explorers Canadian Tire is self-explanatory, and, like, you get it right away.
So that's why you think it's
That's why
hitting so much better.
I think it helps, but it's, obviously the content still has to be good and engaging and fun. But
I shouldn't have been, but I was really surprised by the amount of hockey equipment there was. There were like 3, 4, 5 rows of just equipment,
I know.
but not just like rows of like random things. Like there's an entire row of skates. There's an entire row of pads. There's an entire row of sticks.
I know.
And it was not something that you would ever really see in the States. And I think I mentioned in the video, like, yeah, you'll see it, but not to that like level of
Right.
and even just the display in which it was presented. Like there's like clearly this hockey section with this massive Canada helmet. Like, yeah, this is a Canadian store. That really made it. You would know where you were at that point.
Right.
Otherwise, you might as well just been in a Target Home Depot mashup.
Oh my God, speaking of Target, the funniest comment I heard, and I think it's the greatest comment ever made on any video. I read it. I think I read it last night or this morning on the Canadian Tire, because the whole thing was like, "Where's the tire?" I don't understand. He's like, "I don't walk into Target expecting to see a Target to buy. The logo's at Target, the name's at Target. Where's the Target? Where's the bow and arrow? Is that not?"
I'm really thinking about that one.
Huh?
No, yes and no. Target, yeah, okay.
There's some validity
There's-
to that.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of like other store names.
Yeah, I know.
And like, do you really anticipate that? But from the outsider's perspective, never going to Canadian Tire, not knowing what I'm driving by Canadian Tire my whole life, never going in it, thinking, okay, it's an auto store
Yeah.
and they sell tires and they do auto
That's
stuff.
totally true. And yeah, you would never think they sell blenders, you know.
And so we had to sensationalize the whole idea that this is just a tire store.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas if you had never been to Target, would you have gone in there thinking, I assume they only sell archery equipment and or sporting goods?
I don't know. If you're outsider.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Target was in Canada and like Canadians know what Target is.
And that would have been exciting if you'd never been to Target and that's what you thought.
Yeah, it would have been so weird.
So you don't anticipate it because you've been in it.
Right. So and it's a great comment. Whoever made that, I gotta go find them now because that's makes you think. You know, it's brilliant.
But it's all perspective based. So if you've never been and you don't know, then you could easily think, based on the assumption of the title,
it's like
then that's what they sell there, or that's like their niche. 3 mile.
Oh, what is this? Canadian Tire is like David S. Pumpkins. It is its own thing. That's fantastic.
And relevant to the time.
Yeah, but what
We're
part?
near Halloween right now.
Yeah, and it's that was comments from Gavo22, and but what about
And the hockey equipment? Part of it.
Part. And then he continues by saying, "But what about Party City in the blenders? They are part of it." This guy, well done, Gavo22. That's a great comment.
That's
Thank
good.
you. I'm gonna comment back. You're a genius. Greatest comment.
The comments are getting so good that people are just gonna skip the video and go
Just
right
right
to
in
the
the comments. Yeah. A lot of people about how nostalgic the Canadian Tire is because they grew up, as any Canadian does, going there with parents or whatever. And there's a smell. You mentioned the smell of Canadian Tire, and that's a thing. That's a big thing. A lot of people mention that there's a smell to Canadian Tire that's unique and like refreshing and nice, and that people
It was
associate
fresh.
with. Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
The combination of tires and patio furniture.
Of new plastics.
Yeah, that's it. Paula Hillier. There's something nostalgic about Canadian Tire. The smell reminds me of childhood. Still love it. It's nice. So the video hits on, that's what usually happens. It's usually like a side, or not a side, like it has a different effect on people, our videos, than I would ever think, right? I would never think like this is giving people nostalgia and like, it's making people happy because of,
a memory that they had earlier in childhood.
But I you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. When you bring somebody to a place, like you travel somewhere that you've been and you're showing this person and you're like experiencing it for the first time with them.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what these videos are end up being, is right? Because you're experiencing all these things that we all feel mundane about, and then you reinvigorate our love for it, and honestly, for me personally, it makes me like love it more and like associate with these things more that I've always just taken for granted.
You go on these road trips of memories and nostalgia with me.
That's right.
So that I can experience it.
Yeah.
But does it then offend you if I don't appreciate it the way that you did?
Oh yeah. But it also makes you question. It's a good way. Is you question the things that that are normal.
Did I really enjoy it the way I thought I did?
But
or
also,
was
it should it be different? Like in the future, like should this be different because of your thoughts on it? Like, should Canadian Tire be called Canada's Store, Canadian Store, instead of Canadian Tire? You know what I mean? Like,
no, because it's already hit that.
I know, but
level
what I'm
of
saying
nostalgia.
is, I know that, but what I'm saying is, it could be like it's a good that would be, if you needed to rename it today, you could rename it Canadian Store, or as a general example here. Little things that make you think of what these videos kind of end up being, more than what I ever think. Just you and I having fun, but it has a different effect on people watching, and like people experiencing it differently, and depending on their upbringings and what they know.
It's interesting because you're like, okay, well, you got to try and find something to buy. If
Right.
you go in a store like that, you're like, well, I'm not really looking for blenders.
Yeah, right. It's tough, but they have so many things you can't not. There's something for everyone in there. A lot of the comments also are like, you go to the Canadian Tire is a store you go to when you don't know what to buy.
It felt like, and we talked about it in the video too, it felt like it was like an Amazon warehouse, in a sense. Like it has everything you could possibly want, but if you don't have time to order online, which is crazy because Amazon delivers like same day, but like, it's like not available. Like, oh, I'm going to run to Canadian Tire. I'm sure they have it there, because they do.
They do. They always do. Real quick, if you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, I'm at Joseph_video. Jason is at Uplifter Video on Instagram, because that's your company.
Yep, that's where I spend most of my social time.
Yeah, but it's hard to tag, like, I went with Uplifter Video to this, like, it's hard. I always tag you as the guy, like at holler I think holler.jason.
Yeah.
Do you not want people to follow you there? Do you have followers on there?
I do, and because it's time I'll check, and I'll be like, oh yeah, someone, so I'll like look, and they'll follow me, but I don't post to that account.
But it's still you. That's more you than, like, I mean,
Uplifter Video is what I do every day.
I know, but you don't post on there yourself.
No.
So it's like,
it's not about me. It's about the company.
It's about the company, I know. But like
So what should I do? You're the social guy. What should I do? Want to have more accounts to worry about.
Well, you already have the account. You don't have to do anything. I'm just saying, like, if people want to follow you and know that they're getting nothing from it, because I tag you usually in everything.
Well, this is the most telling portion of our relationship.
Which is what?
Is that I would never have a YouTube channel.
Really?
Because I would never go as far as posting something, because I don't post things. I don't.
Right.
I get that like fear, anxiety of like putting something out there.
I will say, I feel bad
and you're
every
just
time.
Like, I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna put it out there.
I just put it out there.
And I'm like, every time I get full of like this overwhelming, should we do this?
Really?
Yeah.
But it turns out great usually.
Usually.
I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
You're because I usually clip off things to put on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok from all our videos. It's like you're an Instagram and TikTok famous a little bit.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, we got some of your stuff has quite a few views on those platforms.
I'm so bad with that stuff.
That's fine. I think that's cool, because like I envy you a little bit for being able to not worry about it or to turn it off and just live your life.
Well, even less now, because I got a new phone and I have not
you don't even
downloaded Facebook or Instagram.
Really?
So I haven't been on it for like a week,
I didn't realize
which
that.
is probably bad for the business. But Mark, my
Mark's
business
on it.
partner,
He's on it.
he's our social media manager, which he hates when I say that.
What? He doesn't like to.
No, he doesn't want to be that
I'm a
guy.
cinematographer, damn it.
Well, even then, he's just like, this isn't what I signed up for. But
Yeah.
he's good. You know, he's at least good at it,
He's
and
good.
he's aware of what he's doing.
Yeah, I think he's pretty. I like you guys. You're not like overbearing, and you post some cool stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
So if you want to see what he does every day,
Uplifter video
yeah, there you go.
is really just, my day-to-day, my business.
But also, if you want to support us further, I mean, first of all, your support here is like all we could ever ask for. Like, if you ever watch one of our videos or listen to this, like, unbelievable. Like, thank you for giving us your time. Like, I can't. It's so humbling.
Yeah.
So, but I would like to tell you that we have a Patreon page. So there's like 4 different tiers, $5 all the way up to like 50.
There's always a hook with you.
Yeah. And like the top tier, you get a lot. So first of all, I think the tier 2 and 3 get to see some of our outtakes. Usually, I post an outtakes video after each YouTube video goes out. I post it just on Patreon, the outtakes and stuff.
Man, I got to start watching those.
Yeah, you.
Or maybe you got to send them to me. I haven't seen any of
What?
them.
You gotta be a member on Patreon.
Come on.
And then
That's
the top tier actually gets a phone call from us, like an actual, we'll call you, maybe a FaceTime, among a bunch of other cool stuff. So,
Yeah, if you want to learn about social media, Joseph's your guy. He can
What do you mean?
You can train people.
I mean, I can just tell you what I do. I don't know if it's right.
I think you do a really good job of it, and it's
Really?
most people just don't know what to do, so they don't.
Right.
You don't know what to do, and so you do.
Yeah, I just do it. And I
and you
figure
do
it
it,
out.
and that's how it works.
Wow, it's coming down
Yeah,
again.
there we go.
Do you hear that noise? It's
So, was there anything that you wanted to call to into the footage that we didn't see
what do you mean?
for Canadian Tire, for the podcast?
Oh.
Like any audio that you didn't use or
I don't
maybe wanna
I don't
cut
think
to?
so. There was some stuff of us talking just before we walked in, but it wasn't much, honestly.
okay.
And that's why, you know what? That's why there's no outtakes video for Canadian Tire, because there was no outtakes.
It was just
It was basically the whole thing.
it was raw footage
Yeah.
posted online.
Pretty much. I think I hit a button that said auto edit, and it whipped it out real
Nice.
fast.
Yeah.
You know, like your phone does. It's perfect. All right. And the next episode of this podcast we're going to record right now, which will come out obviously after the Sudbury episode,
Yeah.
will be about the Sudbury trip. So
And fresh in our minds, we'll just talk about
we're
it.
just talking about it right now.
Cool.
All right.
Let's
Thank
go.
you for listening. Again, youtube.com/Joseph DeBenedictis is my full name. It's so hard to tell people when they ask. We had 10, 15 people ask us
I will tell
in
you.
Sudbury.
I will tell you when people ask me how do I follow you on YouTube? Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not even worth
You know what?
trying
No.
to.
I have a josephsvlog.com goes to the YouTube page.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
I'm an idiot.
And all day yesterday when people were asking, he was like, "Oh, just my name, Joseph DeBenedictis."
I don't know why I don't. It's just.
That's DEBENEDICTIS.
You know what? We don't worry about it. Yeah.
You know what? Never mind. It's not worth it.
DeBenedictis. But okay.
So what is it?
josephsvlog.com.
josephsvlog.com. That's a lot easier.
That is a lot easier. But maybe I should make, because we have US versus Canada.com that goes to the website. But maybe I should make American versus Canadian.com type thing that goes just to YouTube. But our josephsvlog.com is fine.
Yep. All right, we gotta end this because I can't see out the window.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta
All right.
turn on the
Okay,
defrosters.
there you go. Thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.